Hi, today we are going to discuss how do we convert a crew release agreement form into PDF file on automation inside Notion. So as you can see, I have got a crew release agreement form created over here, which has different fields of information available, and once the user clicks on submit, the responses will go into the responses view of the database that we see over here. So I have already added 3 submissions out of the particular form, and now I'm looking to convert these submissions into PDF file on automation. For this, we'll be using an automation tool known as PDFOutput. PDFOutput is a document automation platform for Notion users which can convert a Notion database into PDF file on automation. So let us understand how this will work. Let me quickly log in and then I will showcase the entire demonstration step by step. So you can take advantage of this automation tool to convert any database into PDF file, and that includes any kind of Notion form that has been created. So let me quickly sign in. So once you log in, you will be able to see an interface like this where you need to set up your automation to begin the process. So click on new automation, and the first thing that it will ask is to connect a Notion database. So click on connect Notion, and once you click on connect Notion, you need to provide your Notion database which you want to use. So I will just copy this database title which I have. So let me copy this title, and I will go back to the selection screen where I would like to use this entire database. So make sure whatever database title you have, always copy the title to be able to use it for the selection process. So let's wait for a few seconds, and you can see that it has already opened up this particular section. And now you need to define your workspace where you need to add your correct Notion form. So this is the workspace which I have, which I can see over here. And once it is selected, click on select pages to access, and we will able to enter the Notion page which you want to use for the database selection. So click on add pages over here, and then put the database title right inside the search window. Okay, so let me just copy and paste the database title right over here, and we will be able to do the rest of the stuff. So as I paste it, you should be able to see the crew release agreement form showing up. Now it has already been added. In your case, if it is not added, simply click on the same and it will automatically get added onto the selection screen. Okay, I don't need this concierge service agreement, so let me remove this. And the crew release has been added over here. Right? And this is both the things that the page is added, the database is also added. So I've added 2 things which we require. Now click on allow access. Now we will get access to the database which we can now use to generate a PDF file. Now over here, we will be able to add a template which will be used to generate a PDF file. So template is how the PDF will be created, and that is how it is defined. So you can opt to add a template in any format. You can go with a Google document, you can go with a Word file, you can upload a PDF file, and you can even add a Notion page which we can use to create a template file. For this demonstration, I will be using a Google document, and I will be using a blank document to start from scratch. You can even upload an existing template file from Google document which will work, but I will go with a blank document. Now, as I click on blank document, I can click on continue, and then I will be able to set up the entire document from scratch to generate the PDF file. So you will be able to see a completely new document that will come up over here, which we can set up. You have all the formatting options available at the top inside the Google Doc editor that you typically find, and you can define any settings from here that you require. Okay. On the right side, you should be able to see the crew release agreement form and its corresponding properties showing up. So what we can do is I can simply copy paste every property onto the document one by one. So let's say I need the crew member name. Okay, I'll just simply type it. I can click on copy. It will copy the crew member name. I will go over to the document and paste it. Okay, you can need to simply copy and paste the properties onto the document. Let's say I need the project name. So I will copy the project name. Let me go back to the document. This is the project name. I will just paste it. Okay, so make sure you copy paste every property whatever you need onto the document, and once it is correctly set up, you can scroll down to find the additional settings. We have e-signatures, so if you require e-signatures, you can turn it on. I will put a link in the video description which will explain how e-signatures work. You can watch that video and implement e-signatures onto your document. Then under the additional settings, we can define where we want to save the PDF. So if you want to save the PDFs onto a Google Drive folder, that option is available. You can select from here. And we also have an option to select the PDF file name. Okay. So I want to define the PDF file by the project name that we have, or maybe by the crew member name that we have. So I can select the crew member name from here, and all my PDF will be named as per the crew members. So rest of the things look good to me, and I'm only going to map these two properties. You can obviously map more properties as per your choice. Let me also put this in italic mode and also add an underline. So you have all the flexibilities of putting all the text different formattings. And let me also highlight this in a different color so that we get to see how this will actually look like. Okay. So I've just added these two things. Once I'm all set up, I will click on preview output. As I do that, you should be able to see one of the document getting processed. So if I scroll to the right side, you can see that the second document is getting processed and the PDF will be created right over here in the PDF file column. So basically this document has now been created, and if I click on the document that is created, you should be able to see the placeholders getting mapped inside the document, okay, with the formattings that we had used. So basically PDF output adds these columns on its own, like the PDF file column, the generate PDF column, and Google Drive file. If you mark any record as ready to generate, that will be converted and stored as PDF file right over here. Okay, but for that we need to set up the automation. So if I go back to PDF output, the preview has been created. I'm happy with the setup. I'll click on setup automation. As I click on setup automation, it will show me a few steps which allows me to add a button to generate a PDF file. So if I want to use a button to create a PDF, I can follow these steps. Make sure you're on a paid plan of Notion to implement button automation in your database, and this will work. Okay, but I'm not going to do that. So my automation is set up. If I go back to my home page, I will be able to see an active automation showing up over here, which means my automation is now ready to be used. If I go back to my database, if I click on this and mark it as ready to generate, it will start getting converted to PDF and stored under the PDF file column. Okay, so any record which you mark as ready to generate, that will be converted and stored as PDF file right inside this PDF file column. For that, your automation should be set up and it should be in active status. So once this is done, you do not need to come back to PDF output to generate a PDF. All you need to do is, once a user clicks on submit, a new entry appears in the database. Simply mark your record as ready to generate. It will be converted to PDF file. Okay. Notion has two different automations for your help. One automation will allow you to automatically mark your record as ready to generate whenever a new entry appears. So you can implement that. The second automation will also help you send an email to the recipient, which you would need. Okay. So you can implement those two default automations that Notion offers along with PDF output automation, and your entire Notion form to PDF setup will be done, and you never need to touch your database, neither PDF output to generate a PDF file. Okay, that becomes very handy and useful for your use case. Now, as it is going to generate these two PDF, let me explain few more things in the meantime. So if you go back to your home page, you should be able to see this template section. Click on that and you should be able to find a lot of different templates for a use case, including invoices, work orders, and many other things which you can start taking advantage of to generate a PDF file. If you want to get in touch with me, use this chat bubble at the bottom of the screen. Send me a message. I'll be able to assist you with any queries. Besides that, you also have a contact window at the bottom. Click on that and you have an option to send me a message right away through this contact window, which I can take up and assist you with any issues which you might be having. Okay. Now let me go back to the database, and you can see both the documents are now completed and they have been generated as PDF. If I click on any of the document, you should be able to see the placeholders correctly mapped and it has been automatically created as a PDF file. Okay. This is how simple and easy it is to use PDF output. Once the placeholders are correctly in place, you can start generating PDF right away with your use case. Okay. So that was it from my end for the entire demonstration. I hope this was helpful to you. If you have any